Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon and this is Shannon's Book Nook, and I'm coming at you with another reading vlog. So strap in, Buttercup. Let me tell you what I am reading right now. So I am currently reading The Confidence of Wildflowers by Michaela Smeltzer. This is a book one in the Wildflower Duet, and it is a age gap romance. We have a 18-year-old girl who, in my opinion, that is like pushing the boundary for an age gap. Obviously she is of consenting age, but it's a little young in my opinion. So we have an 18-year-old girl who, I believe her name is Salem, and then we have a 31-year-old man who has moved in next door. He is a landscaper. He is very grumpy when they first meet because it's like moving day and he's trying to get everything ready and set up. And the yard is a hot mess, so he's trying to clean it up. And so this is also going to be like a nanny romance because he is going to ask her to nanny his young kid, and she's going to take the job to get some extra money. So we'll see what happens with their story. We'll see how I like it. I do like a age gap romance, but I typically like them to be like 23, 24, 25. And then the other person is like in their upper 30s and 40s. But we'll see what happens. And then I'm going to be starting either tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm going to start The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. I'm not sure if it's Lindy or Lind or Lind. I'll have to look up to see how to pronounce that last name. But this is a fantasy romance. And I'm just going to read this synopsis on Goodreads since I haven't started this book yet. It says, she stole from a monster. Now she must pay the price. Street thief Carisi should have known something wasn't right. Now she's trapped in a library with the monster. She can't run, she can't hide, and this being filled with a terrible power and darkness, is well within his rights to kill her. By trespassing, Carisi has broken the fragile peace treaty between monsters and humans. But instead of killing her, Graves does the unexpected. He offers her a job, a chance to find out who she really is. Carisi has always known she's different, that she can do things a little better, a little faster, and there's that sense that there's danger, when danger is just one breath away. But if the old tales are true, there are worse things in the world than monsters, like a threat more ancient than legend, like Graves, or like Carisi herself. So this sounds like a great one. And I couldn't decide between The Wren in the Holly Library and the other book that I was trying to choose between was called Role Playing, and I'm hoping to, if I can't read it this month and I can't fit it into Spookoplathon, I'm definitely hoping to maybe get the book read in November. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I have some book mail here. I have a package from Atria, who I am a partner for, and then I have a box. And I'm super, super, super excited. So let's open it. So let me grab some scissors. Actually, you know what? I have these keys right here, so I'm just going to use the key to make a hole if I can, because I don't want. Okay, so we're opening the box first. I decided that I wanted to order Tate James's series, the Haiti series, because I loved the Madison Kate series, but I'm obsessed with Hades and Cass and like all the boys in that series, but Cass in particular. So I decided to order from an indie bookstore, and I got the special edition of the Hades book. So there's a little envelope with a heart on it. Ooh. Little no, it's not just a book in your in our box. We just got a little excited to see you. See if I can back this up into the light. So, I'm not going to be able to show that. I forgot. There's some art in here. Hang on. Okay, I dropped something. But I ordered from Wicked Words. So they put a little sticker and a pretty little bookmark. And I'm not going to be able to show this, but there's not safe for work art on the other side. And then, oh, that's cute. Little recipe for signature cocktails and mocktails. Cute. So I'm going to put this in here. Okay, now let's look at the book. And I think there's only 2 in here. Oh, no, there's 3, 4. Oh, there's 2 here. Okay, so book 1 and 2. This light is going to drive me crazy. So Seventh Circle by Tate James, which is book 1, and it has the sprayed edges. And then book 2, golly gee, wow, we're struggling here. Book 2 is called Anarchy, and it also has the sprayed edges. I can't remember if they're signed or not. No, I don't think they are. And I am obsessed with this series so much. If you have not read anything by Tate James, you need to check out the Madison Kate series because that's where it starts in Shadow Grove. Start with Madison Kate. I think the first book is called Hate. Read that series and then go to the Hades series. Both are very good. Some people like the Madison Kate series more. Some people, I love both, but I'm obsessed with Hades. And it is a darker white shoes. So if you're not into white shoes, this may not be, the series for you. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Book 3 is called Club 22. This cover is beautiful. And then we got the red sprayed edges. And then last but not least, we have Timber, which she's a little bit thicker. Timber is book 4. And I love all of these covers. Love all of them. They're all gorgeous. And then all together, they're beautiful. Stunning. Gonna look great on my shelf. So yeah, that is the box. Let's look at what is in the Atria package. Okay, opening it up. Goodness gracious, these packages are hard. Yay. Okay, Any Trope But You by Victoria Levine. So this is like a winter romance. Yeah. So best-selling romance author Margot Bradley has a secret. She doesn't believe in happily ever afters. Not for herself, not for her readers, and not even for her characters, for whom she secretly writes alternate endings that swap weddings and babies for divorce papers and the occasional slash tire. When her happily never after document is hacked and released to the public, she finds herself canceled by readers and dropped by her publisher. Desperate to find a way to continue supporting her chronically ill sister, Savannah, Margot decides to trade meet cutes for murder. The fictional kind, probably. But when Savannah books Margot a 6 week stay in remote Alaska to pin her first murder mystery, Margot finds herself leaping into the arms of the handsome proprietor and begins to fear she's landed in the plot of one of her own romance novels. The last thing Dr. Forrest Wakefield ever expected was to leave his dream job as a cancer researcher to become a glorified bellhop. He's back at his family's lodge to care for his stubborn, ailing father, and his puzzle loving mind is slowly freezing over. But Margot shows up until Margot shows up. But Forrest doesn't have any room in his life for another person he could lose, especially one with a checkout date. A long snowy night, as long snowy nights, goodness, and one unlikely trope after another draw Margot and Forrest together. They'll each have to learn to overcome their fears and set aside their assumptions before Margot leaves, or risk becoming a happily never after story themselves. That's cute. This sounds super cute. This goes on sale April 1st, 2025. So I have a while to read this one, but I'm going to want to read it as soon as possible, especially because we're in a remote location like Alaska, giving very like cold vibes. So I'm going to want to read this during the winter season. And in Texas, that's like a couple of days in like December or January. Like our winter does not last long in Texas. So a couple of days. What the fluff? Okay. I have a reading update, but I am not going to be able to do this reading update without spoilers. So I was just sobbing. I know you can't tell because it's been like 20 minutes and I had to literally go take a shower and think about what just happened in this book. So I'm still reading The Confidence of Wildflowers and I was having a great time. You know, a couple things have happened that, like the first sexy scene that happens kind of happens out of nowhere, I feel. So that was a little weird, but I was okay with it for the most part. Then we start seeing her mom. Something is going on with her mom, and she's noticing her mom is really tired. She's getting a little dizzy. She is, lost a little bit of weight. And so, like based on what the daughter is seeing and telling us, that we know that something's going on. And I figured, by the way, spoilers. So, spoilers for a little bit. I figured that the mom was sick. I figured right. I just didn't know how sick. So the mom ends up having breast cancer. So content warnings and trigger warnings for a parent with cancer. Now we do find out later down the road that the mom, she has a double mastectomy. She's already been going through chemo and radiation, which is why she looks like she's lost weight and she's tired and all that stuff. So then, things get really good in the book for the character for Salem. And she keeps saying, like, things can't be this perfect. She's just waiting for the other shoe to drop and for something to happen. And what happens completely took me off guard. And my mouth was hanging open. And then I just started sobbing. And so the little boy, whose name I am drawing a blank on. Oh my gosh, hang on. Forrest. So Forrest and Thayer is the dad, the love interest, have gotten home, and Salem can see this all happening because she's hanging out on the overhang of her 2-story house, like the what is that called? Anyways, she's hanging outside the bedroom window, sitting on the overhang, and she sees Thayer's truck pull into their driveway, and Forrest gets out of the car and he's upset that dad's not building his treehouse. And he's like, I hate you. You always promise that you're going to do this for me, but you don't. you're the worst dad ever. And Thayer's just like, dude, I told you I built it for you in the summer. It's not quite summer yet. Well, Thayer goes into the house. Salem is falling asleep on the roof. And Thayer, an unknown amount of time has passed by, and Thayer is calling for Forrest. Hey, Forrest, where are you? Stop hiding from me. And then you can hear the panic in his voice. And Salem jumps off the roof, realize at the same time Thayer does that something bad has probably happened because they haven't heard. Usually he'll call out, and we find out that Forrest has drowned in the pool. And I just started crying. And I was crying because that's so sad, but it also felt like it was so out of like, number one, Forrest has been swimming in that pool all summer. I don't know. I mean, I know these kind of things happen, accidents happen. He could have gotten caught up in whatever. I don't know. Something could have happened that caused this. Also, I know that drownings take a split second to happen, mistakes, these things happen. So it's really not like in the book. Yes, it feels like, where did this come from? You're not expecting it, but that kind of thing happens in real life, right? Terrible, terrible, terrible accidents that happen just in the blink of an eye. And it changes like the entire trajectory of a family's life, right? So I was crying and I was upset, but I kept reading. And then the part that pissed me off that I had to put the book down, Salem decides, instead of going to the hospital to be with the man that she loves, Thayer, and supporting him and just being present for him like he has been for her while her mom was dealing with cancer, instead of just being there for him, she goes to Boston to be with her ex-boyfriend. Ma'am, this is what I'm talking about. No. 18? No. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard of. Why would you go back to Caleb? Why would you drive all the way to Boston to what? I don't understand the thought process. I no. I have 30 pages of this book left and I don't even know if I want to finish it. Like, Thayer is a good man and he has been by your side this whole time. And his kid that you babysat and you care about has just died. And you're not going to even go to the hospital to show your support. And you say you love this man. The fudge? Okay. I just finished The Confidence of Wildflowers by Michaela Smeltzer. I have very mixed feelings and I don't know. Okay, so I was having a good time until the part that I told you about earlier. And that was within, we had 30 pages left. I've just finished the last 30 pages and oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't, because it was like it's an easy read and I was having a good time with it. So it was leaning more towards a low 4-star. And then that stuff happened. And now I'm like, okay, do I go with my gut and still give it a 4 because I had a good time and it elicited emotions? You know what I mean? But it pissed me off. I don't know. I really don't. I'm probably gonna have to sit with it for a little bit because I really don't. Because, okay, so they had the funeral for Forrest. They never discussed the fact that she went to Boston instead of staying with Thayer. And Thayer kind of, goes down a black hole of anger, grief, and starts, drinking himself into oblivion. Him and, yeah, I don't know. It's sad because it was, I don't know. I'm so torn. I'm probably going to give this a 4-star. It's going to be a low 4-star, but it's a 4-star. I just have to show. My mom's dog does this at their house. This is not my mom's dog, by the way. This is my friend's dog. And they're very, very similar. Like, they look so much alike. It's so funny. But he is so stinking cute. Time to do another roll. We landed on pumpkin carving last, so we're going to start there. We have our dice. So let's hit a roll. Why? It's a double, which is a double 3. Oy vey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've landed on Leatherface again. Leatherface, it is. Okay, so we landed on Leatherface, which says, don't let the Sawyer family eat you. Read a book that features family as the main cast, central theme, or the core part of the plot. I'm having a really hard time finding something, so I might bend this prompt a little bit. I have 2 options. We have Role Playing by Kathy Yardley, which features Maggie and Aiden, who are a little bit older. Maggie is 48 and Aiden is 50. I know Maggie for sure has a college-age son who is trying to get his mother to be more social. And Aiden is got some family drama with because he's having to take care of his older aging mother. So we have some things that have to do with the family. Now, is it the core central plot? I do not know. The other option I have is the second book in the duology of Confidence of Wildflowers, which I just finished. That book is called The Resurrection of Wildflowers, and this book it's set 6 years in the future. So you have to read book 1, which I just read. And then this book takes place 6 years later, and we're still following Thayer and Salem because this is like the second part of their journey. So, which we learn about we have her sister's wedding in the first book. Her mother's, very ill in the first book. We have his son and the baby mama drama. So if there is family in that one, will there be family in the second one? I don't know. I want to read both. I've talked about role playing before. So, let's see which one, let's see which one has the higher rating. We have The Resurrection of Wildflowers has a 3.94 overall rating on Goodreads, And if we go to role playing, let's see. That also, dang it, that's not going to help me. Also has a 3.94. What the heck? The odds. The odds of that happening. Okay, let's go to which one's shorter. Role playing is, according to Goodreads, 331 pages. 331 pages. And The Resurrection of Wildflowers is 428. So I think I'm going to read role playing for the Leatherface prompt. And then we have to roll again because I rolled a double again. Okay, so let's roll again. That is a 7. So let's come over here. We're on Leatherface. We got a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We landed on blood, which means I have to read a book with a red cover. Okay, hear me out. And it's not cheating. It's not. Because role-playing has a red cover. It's kind of a maroonish cover. So I'm counting that as the prompt for the blood. Prompt, red cover. And I'm going to basically switch the books. I'm going to read Resurrection of Wildflowers for the Leatherface prompt. And then role playing for the blood prompt. That's what I'm going to do. It's not cheating. Hello. So it has been an interesting day, a long day, an exhausting day. So I was pet sitting for 2 friends. One is out of town, and I've had her dog since Wednesday, and I'll have him until tomorrow evening. And then I was pet sitting for another friend who has 2 Westies. So I had 3 dogs. And it was like ring around the rosy, trying to, get everybody to the bathroom because the 2 dogs, it's 2 Westies, a male and a female, and the female um, is aggressive towards other dogs, that especially dogs that she doesn't know. And then the male dog of my other friend, the one that doesn't know the Westies, he tends to not like dogs in his space, just doesn't want them around him. So I had to keep them constantly separated. So that was a lot of fun to try and figure out. But thankfully, that was only overnight because my friend, I just literally came back home from dropping off the 2 Westies at her house because she's currently driving. So she won't get back into town until like 9 o'clock tonight. So I told her, I don't want you to have to make another stop after driving for 6 hours. So I took them back to her house and fed them, took them outside, took care of them, and I came home. And now I have an update for you. So, and before all of that, I went to the zoo, the Houston Zoo again with my nephew, my sister-in-law, and one of her friends. And so as I was driving, I was listening to the audiobook for The Wren and the Holly Library. I have made it to chapter 20 in this book, which is page 174. I'm really enjoying it. We have Kierce, who is a human in the world, this urban fantasy world where she is living among monsters, werewolves, vampires, witches, all these different creatures who were, living secretly in the backdrop of the world are now they're a part of everyday life now. So they're known as the monsters, and there's a monster pact, And Kierce is a thief. She works with different high profile millionaires who use her to steal things, procure things that they want. And her skill set is very interesting, and nobody quite knows how she's able to pull the things off that she's able to pull off until she meets a monster. She goes into this house and she's trying to steal this object for her client, and she gets caught. And he's like, "How did you get this far into my house?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "There are wards all over the place. Like, how did you get in here?" And so he is intrigued and he wants her to work for him. So Graves, you know, gives her a job, and she takes it because he's willing to pay a pretty penny for her services. So that's where we're at. And you know, he doesn't know what she is. She's now like, what am I? What? Obviously not full human. So I'm enjoying it. And she has a girlfriend that went missing. And so and she's intrigued by Graves. There's this attraction that's there, but nobody has acted on it yet. And we don't know what Graves is either at this point. Like, he has not divulged that information, so I'm wondering what he is. But yeah, I am enjoying it. I'm also reading The Resurrection of Wildflowers, which is book 2 in the duology for Wildflowers. I have only read like 80 pages. It's very slow going. Um, I don't know how I feel about this one. I was hoping they would have, we have Thayer and Salem. I was drawing a blank. Thayer and Salem, and they're not, they haven't had this a very, very important conversation that needs to happen. And I'm waiting for it to happen because it needs to happen. Like, both of their behaviors at the end of the last book, book 1, um, yeah, a conversation needs to be had, and nobody is willing to have the conversation yet. But they have decided to start dating. So I'm like, okay, we're dating. When are we going to have these very serious conversations? Like, yeah. So I'm wondering when that's going to happen. But I will come and update you later if I have anything to update you on. Okay. So it has been a couple of days since I have updated y'all. I went back to work and, well, okay. School started on Monday. It is currently Wednesday. School started on Monday and I was sick. I think I have some kind of chest infection or sinus infection or upper respiratory infection. Anyways, and then yesterday I had a training and I have not had time to update y'all. So I finished. Let's start with the first one. I finished The Resurrection of Wildflowers, and yeah, those serious conversations that needed to happen between Salem and Thayer never happened. And it pissed me off, to be quite honest. We went from, we need to take this slow and get to know each other again. Yeah, rightfully so, because you both have been through something very traumatic and life-changing, and you haven't seen each other for 6 years. And the girl was 18 when you first started dating or messing around. And now she's 25, 26. Of course, she's a completely different person. And you, sir, are a completely different person because you lost your child. It's 6 years. You both have grown. You both have done some work on yourselves, hopefully. No, they went from dating to engaged to married in like a couple of months. And that was probably a spoiler, but I don't even care at this point. I did not like this book. And it actually brought my enjoyment of the first book down. So the Confidence of Wildflowers is now a 3-star, and the Resurrection of Wildflowers is 2 stars. Because, and you know what? Thayer completely lost any personality in this book. He almost became obsessed with getting back with Salem. And he just had no personality in this book. I don't know. Like, I mean, I read it and I finished it pretty quickly, but I did not have a good time with this one. Sorry. No. And then I just finished The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lindy. And I was having a really good time with that until about the 50% mark. I don't know what happened. The pace slowed way down. A lot of things, I felt like the plot almost stopped moving in this book. Like Graves and, oh my God, what's her name? What's her name? Anyways, the main female character. Oh my Atlanta, that is going to drive me crazy. Anyways, I don't know what it was about this book, but the plot just kind of slowed down a lot. And then there's not a lot of romance in this book, which is fine. But it is marketed as a fantasy romance. And you can tell Graves is not being completely honest. So, I don't know. There's a lot of secrets going on. We do find out what she is, and there's definitely going to be another book because the end leaves on a cliffhanger. But yeah, I don't know. I just was not enjoying it as much as I was in the beginning. So that leaves me with reading one book now. I am reading Role Playing by Kathy Yardley. I haven't gone very far. I'm only like 20 pages in. So hopefully I will enjoy that one more than I did The Resurrection of Wildflowers, and hopefully The Wren in the Holly Library, because I only ended up giving that one, I'm probably only going to give it 3 stars because, I don't know, it was not holding my attention the last 40-ish percent, 50% really, but yeah, that stinks. I was really hoping to love that one because I've been hearing really good things about it. And it might just, I mean, I know it's all opinions and not everybody has the same experience with the book, but yeah, it's unfortunate when this happens. When you're enjoying the book and then you just stop enjoying it at some point. So, I am completely exhausted. So I'm going to go take a shower. I'm going to lay down and maybe watch some Big Bang Theory. And while I'm, doing that, I am going to read a little bit from Role Playing. And I will talk to y'all later. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and do another roll. This will probably be my last one for this vlog. So we landed on blood the last time, so that's where we're at, which means we could get anything from feed scroll all the way down to dice roll roulette. You know, I'd be okay with anything, except for maybe these yellow ones, just because we have, you know, Bram Stoker, Grady Hendrix, and Shirley Jackson. Not a big fan of any of those authors, so I really don't want to land on. I mean, Grady Hendrix, sure, I like his stuff normally, but I've already DNF'd one of his books this month, so I really kind of want to stay away from these three right now. So let's roll the dice. I am going to come over here to my iPad and hit roll. So that's a 5. Come back over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We landed on, I can't read that, upside down, broomstick. I need to look that one up and find out what that means. Okay, so I landed on broomstick, and broomstick says, cleanse your energy, read a book with a clean or simple cover. I'm gonna have to think on that one because I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a look at my books, kind of see what I have checked out on Libby, maybe see what's on my cart, what I can read. Give me a second. Okay, so I'm looking at this top row and kind of, that's not really a simple cover, but that's my book club pick. And I really probably should read this in the next, start it soon. I have this one checked out with Libby right now, the audiobook, but that's not really a simple cover, even though that is clean. Like, my interpretation of clean could be simple, but it could also be like, that's on point. Like, I love that cover. This one, I wouldn't really consider that a clean cover, but I do love that cover. The next one, though, having trouble here, is calling to me. My interpretation of clean, this slays. You know, because it has the word slay on there, too. I don't know. I think I might be reading this book, Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. Yeah, I think I kind of want to read this one. So this is going to be my pick for that book. So it's been a while since I've given you a little check-in. I think I updated you on finishing The Wren in the Holly Library, and I ended up giving that one 3 stars. I just finished role-playing by Kathy Yardley, and it's another 3-star for me. It was very slow for most of the book, and even for a romance. Like, I know, you know, tension has to build, character growth, like building that relationship, and even more so when one of your characters is an ace, specifically a demisexual, which I kind of, no, not kind of, what's the word? I feel like I'm a demisexual, so I can relate to a lot of things that Aiden in the book is experiencing. But I don't know, like it was very, very slow going, very, not a lot of, you know, movement of the plot, since the plot is mostly the relationship between Maggie and Aiden. I do like all the representation that happens, but trigger warning for queer phobia, biphobia. Like, his mother, Aiden's mother, is a shitty person. And so is his ex, who gets together with his brother. So There's a lot of crappy things that happen in this book. But like I said, I love the representation. Maggie is Asian. Aiden is demisexual, which is on the A spectrum. And then we also have the two main characters, Aiden and Maggie, are older. So Maggie is 48 and Aiden he's 50. So I loved all of that representation, but the book was just very slow moving. So yeah, I gave it 3 stars. I am still reading Lights Out, but I have not made much progress on it. I've only read like 20 something pages. So I'm hoping to, work on that. And I'm gonna basically wrap this vlog up here because we're going into a new week. Tomorrow's Sunday, and I've been filming this video for a while. So I hope if you stuck around for this long, you liked the video. Don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. And if you want to leave me a comment letting me know that you were here, leave me a dog emoji because I'm currently pet sitting and I have a doggo sitting on my lap while I'm editing a video, getting ready to upload for tomorrow. So I will see y'all next time, y'all. Bye.